Hi, my name is Megan Morrison, and I am a new life coach and music therapist at Evolutions Treatment in Miami. The purpose of my job here is to try to bring awareness of our emotions and our feelings through music. So I'm running daily groups with clients, and we have a whole bunch of different exercises that we do that somehow incorporate music. For example, I will choose a song that the lyrics have to do somehow with sobriety or recovery. You know, there are so many artists out there and musicians that are either going through addiction, have battled addiction, have tons of years sober. There are a lot of us. I myself, I'm a musician, singer-songwriter. I've been a musician for my entire life. And I always wanted to give back with my music, so now I am finally able to do that. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am coming up on 5 years clean myself. I went through treatment, so I have been through what the clients are going through. So that also gives me an advantage to really know how they're feeling, you know. Obviously, everyone is different, but we've all kind of gone through the same thing. So with my music, I like to start a session by choosing a song and playing it for the clients. A lot of times I'll pass out a lyric sheet, and then we'll listen to the song and we'll kind of discuss the lyrics after and how we can relate to it and how it relates to our sobriety and trying to get sober, and how it relates to when we were using and how that made us feel and how we feel now. That's an example. Then I'll also let them choose songs that they can somehow relate to, that has something to do with, you know, their struggle or the hopes that they have for getting clean. And we'll play part of their song, and they'll discuss with them. We'll discuss after, you know, how they relate, how the song makes them feel. And usually we go around the room, and people really love that. The beautiful thing about music is that, especially for people in recovery, it's really hard for us to express our emotions sometimes. It's really hard to be open and honest, especially in a group setting. But music creates this, it's so much easier to talk about our feelings and our emotions through music than just come out and say how we're feeling. So it's kind of a gateway for people to really be able to talk about how they're feeling without really having to talk about how they're feeling. And that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's one example. I'm also doing days where I do live music. Another therapist and myself are in a band together, Tony Alarcon. We are recording an album right now. So over the last week, I've sung a couple songs, he's played guitar, and most of my songs have to do with my journey through my life and my sobriety, so it all relates here. So I'll sing some of the lyrics, sing the song, we'll talk, we'll discuss, hear what people heard, and I'll tell people, you know, what that song means to me, why I wrote it, where I was when I wrote it, how I felt. And people can really relate to that. Music is a universal language. Doesn't matter what country you live in, doesn't matter how you're feeling, we all relate through music. Another something that's brought up very often is music is a trigger. It can be a trigger for a lot of people. For me, after I got sober, it was really hard to listen to certain kinds of music that I used to love, because it just made me have that anxious kind of feeling that I would get before I wanted to go drink or use. So that's very common, and a lot of times clients don't want to listen to music. There are certain people, most people do, but some people don't, because it makes them very uncomfortable and makes them think about using. So what I try to do is identify those feelings and, you know, identify the triggers and kind of talk through them. And then we talk about our triggers, how music triggers us, what else triggers us, and what we can do when we have those triggers to, you know, prevent a relapse. You know, a lot of my group has to do with relapse prevention, what we can do. So that's, you know, it's music plays a lot of different roles. in sobriety. And for me, music really helped me on my road to sobriety. After I stopped drinking, there were a few months where I really didn't know if I would ever get that passion back that I had. I didn't know if I would get that same drive that I used to have when I was writing music before I got sober. And a few months went by, and then it all just came flooding back. And the songs that I was writing, the melodies I was creating, it was like I was a whole new artist, and had this whole new lease on my life as a musician. So it's really awesome to see how music can help people grow. Music can kind of get people out of their shell. We can all talk about music, and that's a beautiful thing. In addition to that, I'm also going to be running women's groups here. Another very important thing in my recovery, and I highly suggest it for everyone out there, is to do gender groups when you're in treatment and in recovery, female groups, male groups. When I was getting clean, women's groups were crucial to my recovery. Inside treatment and then outside treatment. I am a member of AA, and I go to a women's group, and that's where I have some of my deepest shares, where I feel most vulnerable and most comfortable to be able to, really share about my struggles and what I'm going through. And I think that's extremely important, and the same goes for males as well. So I'm trying to do a women's group here once a week where the women really feel comfortable in opening up and talking about their story and talking about what they're struggling with, and working together to find, a resolution, and to find problem solving, and to find gratitude, and to learn about each other. A lot of us women come in here to recovery saying we don't get along with other women, or we don't have friends that are women, we're only friends with guys. It's very, very common. And when you can look past that and open your eyes and realize that you're surrounded by a community of very amazing women, even if we're not all the same and we like very different things, we can be a huge support system for each other. And that is very, very important in the recovery process, just having a network of other women that you can trust, that you can talk to, that you can call anytime and tell about anything. It really helps in the process, and you don't quite feel so alone when you're going through it. So all in all, I am here to be a support for all the clients, because I've been there, I've been in their shoes, I know what they're going through. I am here to be on this journey with them, and while I'm here, I want to share music with them. I want to share strength, hope, my story. I'm an open book. I'll tell anyone anything they want to know if it helps in their sobriety. And I just want to help, make the recovery process not so painful, because it doesn't have to be. It can be a really beautiful thing. When I was getting clean, a lot changed, and all of a sudden I just kind of opened up and became a new person, and it was such a beautiful experience that I want other people to be able to experience the same thing too. So that's why I'm here.